Number one, how did growing up in Des Moines, Iowa play a role in the musician you are today? So I actually grew up right outside of Cedar Falls, Iowa, which is like an hour and a half away from Des Moines. I moved away when I was a kid down to Savannah, Georgia. Been in Nashville now for 11 years, but while I was in Georgia, I was a music director for a mega church, and honestly got my heart broke working for the church. Long story short, had to move back to Iowa. Ended up in Des Moines for about 9 months. Fell in love with Des Moines and the city. It's just a really, really cool place if you haven't been, especially downtown is where we lived. But we'd been there for about 9 months, and my ex woke me up, and she basically said, Jay, you need to move to Nashville. Otherwise, you'll always regret it. You got to do the dang thing. And so she basically kicked me out the door. I had a suitcase and a guitar, and that was it. I didn't know anyone. I made that drive to Nashville by myself. You named your new album Des Moines. What are some themes you explore on it? So furthering that conversation and answering the first question, basically the album is explaining, the journey between Des Moines and Nashville in my 11 years here since. I met my wife here. I lost my mom while I was here, became a philanthropist, started touring, became a full-time artist and musician, and did the dang thing. So Des Moines really is special to me because it's that time of my life where I first became brave enough to just go and do it and rip the Band-Aid off. Also, I wanted to honor my home state of Iowa. A lot of my family and friends are there. I recently got to go back and do a hometown show, and there was people as far as the eye could see. It was really, really cool. Felt like I left, accomplished something, got to come back and celebrate with them. Let's see here. There are 10 tracks on the album. My favorites being No Present Like the Time, Whiskey in the World. Which songs stand out for you? So yeah, for me, No Present Like the Time is very, very special. I came up with that idea when I was filming The Voice, which went very well for me, led to an independent record deal, led to me meeting my now manager, who has really changed my perspective of myself, give me a new sense of confidence. We've toured the world, put out music, been invited to the White House, raised millions of dollars to fight against dementia, raise awareness for caregivers, all the above because of her. So that idea came to me while I was actually there, and it was kind of hit the refresh button for me. While I was there in LA for 2.5 months, they trapped us in a hotel room. Wasn't allowed to leave for more than 10 minutes per day, and at first that really sucked, and then I realized I'm never going to get them this much alone time again. So I really dug in, kind of self-therapy, and I realized I'd been sad for a long time, and so I decided to think about that phrase, there's no time like the present. And for me, immediately I flipped it in my mind, well, how about no present like the time? Time is like a gift. I should make the most out of it. If I believe I have a mother in heaven, she probably wants me to make the most out of my life and be happy. So really that song is all the life lessons, the positive, good things I took out of loss. Then Whiskey in the World, it's kind of taken on a whole new meaning. I recently went sober. I've been sober for 3 months now, and I love that song ended up on the album. For me now, when I share that, it's this message I can share, we're all going through something. And I think a lot of us try to go numb to those things or find a way to distract ourselves. For me, it was alcohol and being addicted to Adderall and partying, and any chance I had to get drunk, I'd do it just to get out of my mind for a second instead of facing those things. But, now when I sing the song Whiskey in the World, that's, what I think about. There's not enough of that thing, that crutch, to get past what you're going through. So you might as well face it, might as well own it and let it grow you, and gain character from it. So those are definitely my two favorites as well. Certainly you paid tribute to your mother with the album release party held at Old Red. Was it difficult to sing those songs live? It used to be difficult to talk about that and sing, especially Blank Stares live. Now I take a lot of pride. I get to be the face, for the National Alzheimer's Association, for the fight against dementia. I get to be that guy. Now it's like I get to be. It's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure. And I always feel this sense of confidence when I tell that story. I believe my mom's with me, and I believe I got God guiding me. I believe I have an ultimate purpose, so now I take joy in that. 5, Josh Kelly and Dustin Christensen help write music for the album. Talk about working with these talented songwriters. I've always been a fan of Josh, so and Dustin as well. I wrote another song with Dustin Christensen called Lines and released it a couple years ago, and just fell in love with this guy's heart and his ability to take an idea and a thought and a feeling and put it into words. So I actually reached out to him and asked him to send me songs, and he sent me this song, Better Now, that him and Josh wrote, and I was like thrilled to see that Josh was on it. And Josh's wife even said that she loved it, which she's a famous actress, Catherine. So pretty cool feeling. And for me, like, I literally like worked out to that song, that demo, for 6 months before I decided, like, I want to cut this song. I want to release it. I don't care how many people hear it. I want it for me. It really got me through kind of that transition of deciding I wanted to be fully sober. It gave me like a sense of confidence, like, hey, like, if you can do this, you can be better now. So I love those guys, and I appreciate them letting me cut that song. What do you hope lingers with listeners that explore Des Moines, either as a message or as an emotion? For me, I really wanted Des Moines, the album, to be easy to listen to. I have a rock side to me, like a edgy side to me, especially with my new band, The Stallions, but I didn't want this album to be that. I wanted it to be something that was, like a young person could listen to and be like, wow, that's really good. And then an older person could listen to, and they could, they could think of all the things that they've been through in their life. They could put it on in the kitchen. You could have it on in the background when you're having dinner. You could, listen to it and cry. You can listen to it, and even there's a song, on there that you can dance to. You can think about broken relationships. You can think about your struggles. Like, I want this record to be easy to listen to, easy to digest, but also if you dig in and really sit with it, it moves you and compels you and intrigues you and motivates you. And I think it does that. And Matt McClure, my producer who produced this, did such a good job. And I always say, I don't care if 5 people hear my music or 5 million. I'm just so proud of it, honestly. It touches me, and I think if it touches the artist, it's gonna move its listeners, which I think goal accomplished. 7, you recently did an epic cover of Noah Kahan's song Stick Season. Have you thought about maybe doing an album of covers in the future, or have an idea for next cover you might want to tackle? Honestly, there's so many songs that I want to cover. I think it's just timing. There's a next season I think I'm entering into now that I'm sober. I just have this new passion in my belly, new fire in my belly. I'm feeling very, very inspired to push the Stallions and start releasing rock, like country rock music. I grew up on Three Doors Down, Creed and Nickelback and Matchbox 20 and Live, and bands like that. Those are the types of songs I think I want to release. I've written songs like that. I just need to find the right producer. Also want to cover songs like that. So it's definitely coming. It's just timing. And thank you for saying that's an epic cover. That means a lot to me. I love that song. Number 8, I love that you got invited to the White House for a private screening of a documentary that you featured a theme song you wrote. What did that achievement mean to you? That was the coolest thing I've ever done, and I've done a lot of cool things. That was probably right under getting married to Kylie. I remember we got invited, and we had this cocktail hour. Then we were escorted inside, and we were sitting. They previewed the movie to us. We got to watch it in the president's private movie theater. I'm in the second row with my manager, and I remember I'm sitting next to this young boy, and it looks like his dad. And we get to the end of the film, and they had showcased the stories of 3 different caregivers, and one of them was a lady, and her husband and son had taken care of her. She had cancer, and at the end of it, the movie ends. My song comes on, Break from Broken, and they announce in the credits that lady had passed away. And the son and the dad were sitting next to me crying holding each other, and they put their hands on me, and I absolutely just lost it. It was so sad and beautiful at the same time. So at the end of the day, like, it didn't matter where we were. It was so cool to be inside of the White House, but it was that moment that affected me and impacted me. 9, your fight to bring more attention to Alzheimer's is so noble. How can fans lend a hand to bring more awareness to this tragic disease? That means a lot to me that you asked that. I always direct people to alz.org. I'm always posting about all the events and charity events and fundraisers and galas we're doing on my Facebook and on my Instagram. I tried TikTok. I'm not good at it. And then thenightofhope.org as well, which we did an entire tour with them called the Night of Hope Tour. Go there, please. There's so many different resources and assets and forums, and even especially on my Facebook, people have made friends, and they've partnered together to put on charity events with me and found a sense of healing and community. So alz.org. Night of Hope, thenightofhope.org, and then all my socials. Even go tojallenofficial.com, and you can be directed to places. And then the last one. What would you like to say to everyone who continues to be fans and supporters of the beautiful music that you make? Fans has always been a weird word for me. I like the word community. I feel like God has put me in a position where I have a spotlight on me. A lot of times I'm on stages and microphones and studios and on TV sometimes. And I made a promise to myself a long time ago. Anytime there's a spotlight put on me, I'm going to do my best to deflect it onto others. So I just I always say, especially to people who are, experiencing loss or grieving someone they've lost, just know that someone's walked through this already. I've walked through it, and you can survive it. It's so important to remember that you have a voice. Use it. If you have a gift, use it. I have a voice, the ability to write songs, and I used what I've been given by God to turn our sad story into something beautiful. And because I've tried to be brave, it's created a safe place for other people to be brave. So figure out what your gift is and use it to help yourself and help others, and know you're not alone.